Oh.
I mean, you really would. You would look like if you got the turtleneck and then the gray pants, and then you walked around, and then we had like people in yellow suits. Then,
all the volunteers get yellow suits.
Then you would have minions. What's
okay?
Hi guys, sorry, I started this on a tangent. So John and Bryce with Project Tribute.
For those that missed out, John just called me Gru from Despicable Me.
Well,
since I shaved my face.
Yeah, I mean, because if you wore a black turtleneck, and you have to walk with your hands behind your back. But yeah, I think so. Here, this is
absolutely.
Yeah, see right there. Okay. So good thing that 0 people are watching. So that's helpful. All right. So we had a busy weekend.
Yes.
I think the first thing that I'd like to do, and if we start getting some folks kind of joining in, we might recap some of this. 2 people. So
howdy.
The 2 that just joined, you might enjoy watching back, because it's been a little bit wild since the last 30 seconds. So first thing I want to do is just thank the city of Baxter Springs. So this Saturday, they had the 2nd annual Baxter Springs Jeep Invasion. Yep. And that was your first one.
My first one, yeah.
Have you ever done any kind of a car show before?
Probably a while back, but
okay.
Nothing like that though.
Yeah,
it was super cool. A beautiful place to be. The park they had set up there was just gorgeous, and then the organization was just insane too. They had everything tied down.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting so many of the yellow shirt volunteers.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing that I thought was exciting was the amount of first time Jeepers that showed up.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool, because it was, hey, this is my first one. Great, welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get you all set.
Yeah.
I mean, and so that was just really cool. So Brent and Leslie, we had them on the podcast not last week, but the week before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his count the morning of was 190. I think they ended with 200 and something. And then the proceeds for the event are going to come to Project Tribute.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So he wasn't I think this is payback for the bleed kit thing. So how they're going to do this is that they're going to come here, do a podcast with us, and then present the check on live on Facebook.
Cool.
So we don't know how much. And then if they raised $1,000 or more, the Modern Woodsmen, they're going to match up to $1,000.
Wow.
So whatever proceeds are coming from the Baxter Springs invasion, then Modern Woodsmen will also this year put $1,000 in, and then we're going to try to seek some funding to get that match a little bit higher for the next years. But I'm just so grateful. I think Leslie reached out to that local group and said, hey, and they put the grant in there.
And then he said he's going to reach out to all his people too, and it's going to be a great way to get connected and get the word out.
So that was your first hot event too.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was hot from 6 a.m. till what? We didn't get back here until 10.
It was like 10:45, 10 something.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize I hit something dead on the road.
I think I hit it right after you. I remember
that. It was all over the trailer, and so I had to take it to the car wash yesterday and take the trailer back. But yeah, that was a great event, and thank you for everybody that came by. Yeah. Thank you to the community of Baxter Springs. It was really cool seeing on the bank the digital display saying Jeeper Invasion, and then some of the businesses had custom signs put up. So Baxter Springs is a great community. Did you see the pictures of the car set?
I don't know if I did.
So Compton sent that to me, but they have full size car, like from the movie Cars. They have a whole it's like a workshop that looks like it's straight out of
because we talked about that. We talked about how it was the Cars was based out of Baxter Springs.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. No way. Yeah, I didn't see that. I'll have to find that.
So yeah, let's hear the day of we earned, and I was wrong. We did earn $1,800, but then the thing took out the tax because we got to pay taxes.
Oh, sure.
So we raised $1,800 nice. On just through shirt sales, which the new shirts they were
like hotcakes. People love them.
Yeah, they really do. And then we also have our new cups.
Mm-hmm.
Try to find which camera right here. Where you at?
Beautiful.
Yep. So we'll have these at the Okie Jeep Jam as well.
Get you some.
And I had them at the Okie Jeep Jam last year and sold out. So we're bringing these back.
Those were pretty hot too.
Oh
People
yeah,
liked them.
I at work today, I was drinking out of one of them, and then I keep one here at the foundation as well.
Yeah.
So for those that are joining, we just had our Baxter Springs Jeep invasion, and then if you comment, if you have any questions, comments, whatever, we can, feel free to ask questions. We can see it as your questions are coming in. Presently, we're broadcasting on 6 different channels, and then if you're seeing us on the supporter page, we can see your comments. It'll just show as user. And then same thing, if you're like, hey, I want to share this, just go over to our main Facebook page. And then as always, this whole thing, all of Project Tribute is driven off of donations.
Yep.
And so to help us and to help us continue the cause, you can just text Bleed Kit to 918-856-3977. Right now, we're already trying to figure out how do we gain more funding for next year, and how do we continue to serve our first responders. But yeah, so that's what we do is we go out to events like Baxter Springs this weekend, and then we take the funds that we generate and we go put through. So I think that if depending on how much they raised, there's a request out of Georgia for the glucosometers and pulse ox, and that'll be, I think it was $1,500 or $1,700. Then Jinx Fire had asked for mass casualty kits, and that will be, if we raise $5,000, those 2 requests will be what we're covering.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, y'all, if you have the funds, please, if you could check out our website, throw a donation our way, or even check out a lot of the merchandise that we've got, because we've got a lot of cool stuff, just like the tumblers here. A lot of stuff you may not have even seen yet. So check it out.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff on there. And also, if you see something on there and you're like, man, I like that logo, but I wish it was on that shirt, just email me, and it takes 10 minutes and I'll have that up on the website. We've got a ton of stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Baxter Springs, over 200 Jeeps showed up. We, it was just a great event. I think that they, Brent and Leslie put so much work into that thing, and looking forward to it to continue to grow for next year. They're already kind of talking through. He and I were texting yesterday, and just like last year, the whole grass was immaculate.
Wow.
I mean, you saw how packed it was.
Yeah.
And then whenever we left, there was no trash.
Nice.
I mean, great job, Jeepers, for just really respecting the property. So.
It was definitely a great community. You almost felt like you weren't really in just a group of a bunch of people that own Jeeps. It almost felt like it was like a family barbecue or something like that, especially when we were all together for like the award ceremony and stuff. Yeah. It was super chill. It was really nice.
And I won.
Yep.
Second year in a row. Most Patriotic Jeep. There was a challenge.
Undisputed champion.
I think that there's a dispute now. Like I think they mean it. They may wrap a Jeep just to beat me. But if 2 Jeeps are flagged, but if I have the trailer, then I have more flag square footage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So we had, let's see here. So Nate, my kid, he's been showing up. So we added him to the volunteer list.
Trooper.
Yeah. Well, and it was not a dry heat. So Brent, I swear I will slash your tires. Flat out. Like literally flat out. I will slash them. You will not take my trophy. The trophies were they were good last year. They were better this year.
Cool, yeah.
Like the toilet bowl, the least or most at least likely to make it home. That was so the last year the Jeep that won that literally had parts falling off of it. Like there was just a trail.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So we have a couple events coming up. I know that there's one in September. It's not a craft fair, but it's going to be down in the
Cleveland,
streets. Yeah, in Cleveland. I need to look at the exact date. We are looking. There's some interest in us doing a poker run. So we're going to start planning that out, but we definitely need volunteers. And so if somebody wants to volunteer, I guess you can talk them through it, and I'll pull it up on the screen.
Well, you can either reach out to me. You can always reach out to us on Facebook, but the best way to do it is if you go to our website, there's a volunteer tab, and you just click on that. You can submit a form there for us. That'll give us all your information, actually. And then we can reach out to you with volunteer opportunities. So stuff like Baxter Springs. It's hot, but it's fun. It's rewarding. You get to talk to people, let them know kind of what we're all about, and kind of just walk them through and help us out in the run of it. So check us out there, fill out that volunteer form for us if you haven't, and that way we'll have your information and we can shoot you that message when we got something coming up.
And then we have a newsletter going, and so that's another big change, is that Miss Laci, I'm going to have Miss Independent Amber, if you do like, so Amber's got the Gladiator, the Lilo and Stitch one.
Yeah.
You got it. Let me have the patriotic trophy. Dang it.
We shouldn't have mentioned anything.
We shouldn't have mentioned it. We should have quietly just kept winning. I'm taking the flag off the Jeep. I'm sorry. We're gonna go for something different.
Bigger.
So also, if you guys haven't, go on the same tab, that volunteer tab, and subscribe. Laci's been putting out a newsletter, and it's Game On.
Oh, opened a can of worms.
Yeah. I hope your gears melt. Mine already did twice. Thorne had to void the warranty. So, all right. So we do have a really good newsletter that Laci's been putting out. So how you get on that is you just go on the website and click subscribe. Well, and then the Quad State folks or Poseidon, him and his crew were going to do it as well. So or instead of doing this, you all could just spend that same amount of money on Project Tribute. Let's just throwing that idea out there.
Yep.
We could wrap the Jeeps just to take a really cool bobblehead Eagle trophy away from John, or we could buy. This is just getting this. This is going down. Like this is getting out of hand. I'm gonna
just need to shut it down.
Yeah, we're gonna block him. We're just gonna block him. Can't lose if you can't see it. So also we do have a discount going on right now, so 10% off of our store. And then I guess I should put the store up there, huh?
Yeah.
So on the store, there is a ton of stuff, especially now that we're going to get into long sleeve hoodie season, hopefully next week.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
Oh man. Remember Everyone Deployed shirts. That's kind of our newest. We've got plenty of like women's shirts, tank tops, merch. Let's see here on the merch. There is tumblers and mugs, all sorts of stuff. And Brent actually got one of the mugs, free entry for anyone who beats John. This is not okay. I'm taking a lug nut.
Especially with how fast they're growing. It's very likely someone will take you up on that.
Well, look, I'm competitive, but it's on. It's just like this is gonna get shady fast. Speaking of shady, one thing, I love you too. One thing is really important to me, and I always enjoyed it at these events is showing them our finances, showing like our top 3 paid employees make $0.00.
Yeah, a lot of people almost don't believe that at first.
Yeah, and so then you show it. So if you guys are watching and you're not familiar, on our website, which is projecttribute.com, we have a transparency tab. And so this is last year. So gross profit, that's top line sales. Total expenses, and so we had $3,000 more than we started the year with at the end. From January to December, we ended the year in the bank $3,000 more, and really what that was is that there was a bill for the shirts that posted on January 2nd versus December 31st, and again 0 payroll. But I also have all of our financial statements on this 2022. It's got December in there, so you can see the year's finances, our tax financial forms, and then I keep our most up to date. So I think June's up there. The Perspective Financial is who does they've donated for a year and a half now doing their accounting services for us.
Wow.
So shout out to them. I just cannot thank them enough. I mean, they do so much for this community, but we couldn't have, there's no way we would have qualified for the grants that we qualify without their help. Just being able to have that financial statement.
For sure.
And then the other thing on here is our strategic plan. So I went ahead and posted that. That way you can see where our overall goal is. We're trying to get ourselves to be self-funded. That way our office / peer support facility and our podcast room, that's really our biggest expense. We're trying to grow that and making sure that all the first responders in the area know this space is open it's not open, but it's available 24/7. And we've got keys in the hands of first responders throughout, myself, and then Bryce is going to be getting a key sometime today. So that's what we do from the office space. Even the building that we use just to do these things, we have it where it can help save a life. If somebody's in crisis, they can use this. So that's the strategic plan side of it. Is there anything on the website I need to highlight?
Probably not with regard to that. I mean, at least in regards to the peer support, we've got the podcast tab on there. So that's there. And then I think we're probably going to try to work on something there where we can maybe get like a submission form so that if somebody needs help, they can, maybe anonymously send that to us, and then we can get them some help however we can with meeting somebody here and being able to use the space. So.
Well, and if your friends are poking at you on Facebook about taking a trophy from you, there's also the 988 hotline.
Yeah.
So that's a great resource.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you just don't know what to do, 988's got tons of resources, and it's not just, hey, I'm having a bad day. I mean, it's literally anything. I mean, I've called them just to be like, hey, is this real? And they were great.
Yeah.
So it's a good resource too. So just dialing 988. Another great resource is that whole text to bleed or text to donate. So just text bleed kit to 918-856-3977. What else on your notes that we need to make sure we cover?
Well, primarily, I mean, we were going through the events coming up. So,
so
we
Okie
hit the
Jeep Jam.
Yep, Okie Jeep Jam.
So that's a 3-day event, and then Leslie and Brent are actually going to come down on Saturday.
Nice.
And then we've got our trailer, hopefully tried and true. We might, it'll be close. It'll either be sometime in September, October that we have the trailer completed. If it is completed, I'll have it at the Okie Jeep Jam. If it's not completed, then Nick with Bravado Wireless, who's also one of our board members, he's offered up. They've got some space there, so we can save some funds instead of renting a hotel room. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's down in Muskogee. It's a 3-day event. It's pretty neat. They put us in a hangar. But that was actually the second time that somebody had found a fallen loved one on the Jeep. The first time was actually in Baxter Springs, and then that happened 3 times yesterday.
We had a lot that happened at Baxter Springs.
Yeah.
And even if, they weren't related, someone knew someone.
Yeah.
We have quite a few people walk up and say that. So,
and one of the ideas, if somebody's interested in helping us fund this, I would love to take the wall of names and make, how at conventions where it's like that roll up, that like a big poster that it rolls up like an old projector screen.
Yeah.
I would love to take the names and make them where we can travel with all of the names since we've started.
Yeah. Like almost like a wall type of thing.
Yeah. Because that's where we started. That way we can honor all the names, not just the ones on the Jeep, and wheel it up. So if somebody's interested, that would be pretty cool. My guess would be that's going to be something, $1,000. I mean, it's not going to be cheap, but it's a way that we could truly honor all the loved ones lost since we started. So
yeah, that'd be great.
I think, so bleed kit wise, this is going to be a little bit different. So we started offering, we're going to be giving these out moving forward versus the basics. Awesome. So the difference is that these have 2 survival blankets. It's got the chest wound seal. I think there's another set of the trauma gauze plus all the other stuff that was in the original one. Yeah. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's got way more life-saving capacity to it. So worked with the Refuge Medical team. And if you guys haven't checked them out, their website it's just refugemedical.com. But they do a phenomenal job, and they've partnered with us and said, hey, John, we want to help you. So these bleed kits, sorry, the cups are in the way. There we go. So these are just a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier than the basics. And we're going to start handing these out to first responders. We talked about it already. The first responders attended the class, and then they used that training just a couple days later. So it sucks that the victim passed, but it was nice that the first responders had the training and the tools on hand. They gave it every effort they possibly could. Yep. So to me, it's comforting to know that it wasn't passed because of lack of effort or lack of skills or lack of tools. All the things were there. Just, unfortunately the wounds were too far. Yep. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. So we've got the Okie Jeep Jam. We've got the burial mounds. That one we definitely will have the trailer for. It's in December. So it's a night run and gun. So if you have your night vision goggles and like to do stuff in the dark, that's a great event. I haven't attended the December one, but I definitely will this year. And then I have a custom fire pit that's going to be coming with the trailer. Nice. That's got their logo and our logo. And so
cool. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So volunteer opportunities. What do we got coming up?
Yep. Well, biggest one right now, I guess we'd be thinking is the Okie Jeep Jam. But that's not till October 20th or so, I think is the first day, and it goes for 3 days.
Yeah, it's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep. And really the Saturday, for obvious reasons, that's the biggest. So if you're going to volunteer and you have to pick one day or the other, Saturday's the one that.
Yep. So with regard to that, I'll probably be shooting out a message to everybody on our volunteer list to sign up to get involved with that. And then also in regards to volunteer opportunities, we're going to have some opportunities coming up, especially as it gets cooler, to be going out around Bartlesville in particular. Eventually we'll spread out, but we're going to start in Bartlesville doing some flyer distribution so that locally more people can kind of hear about us and what we're about, because it's kind of surprising how many people actually haven't heard of us yet.
Yep.
Not to sound like, not in the conceited way or anything, but you just like, oh, what's that? That's here? That's cool. I always go around. I see a lot of I've seen, especially around my neighborhood, I've seen a lot of like yard signs,
Mm-hmm.
like back the blue and stuff like that. So I think if we were able to reach out to a lot of those people, getting a nice strong local foothold will help us moving forward. So we'll be doing that soon here, especially as it gets cooler, passing out some flyers, and I'm sure we're going to come up with some more ways to kind of get the locals involved and whatnot. So
I had somebody reach out to me, evening John. Hey Jack, we almost forgot that we talked at the Oklahoma 2A. So if you guys aren't familiar, Oklahoma 2A is a great organization. They're obviously in Oklahoma, and it's all about the Second Amendment, but it's not. I don't know. I'm sure that there's definitely going to be the Uncle Si from Duck Dynasty kind of guy there, but for the most part, it is just folks talking legislation around freedoms, and I mean they are going to talk the firearms,
for sure,
and then firearm
freedoms and liberties. Yep.
Yeah, but I've spoken at the Bartlesville chapter, and then we did the Claremore chapter, and it is a great group.
Yep.
They had two representatives, a senator and a state representative, come and speak. Very and cool. They had very open dialogue. Mm-hmm. Hey, why'd you vote this way? I didn't like that you voted this way, but can you explain why?
Sure.
And the representative, she did a great job articulating, here's the piece of this bill that I didn't like.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? How I see it is, do you support first responders? Right. That's really the only question, at least with our involvement anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like, so long as there's nothing, shady going on, do you support first responders?
And so, I heard, so Bob with Refuge Medical, he said it best. And I really liked how he worded it, that we don't, let me put it that way. I don't blindly back the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I support constitutional law enforcement officers.
Yep.
So if they're gonna follow the law and they're gonna follow the Constitution and respect freedoms and rights, they have my full support, 100%. And you'll see that with policing, they do a pretty good job of holding themselves accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that's really cool is groups like the Oklahoma 2A, they hold the politicians accountable.
Yep.
And they're very polite. They were very professional. I liked the group. It's always just it's a very engaged audience. And so I appreciate the efforts that they put, especially if you're somebody like I can still carry. I've got plenty at the house.
Absolutely.
And so it's one of those things where groups that keep our government in check make sure that we have the rights that we can. And so if you guys aren't familiar with Oklahoma 2A, their website's out there. I don't know much. So Jack, you might be able to chime in here if allowed, and please don't get me banned on Facebook. I guess Jack's watching over on YouTube. Actually, you're my first cool YouTube comment. But they've got it's a good platform. It's all about us being advocates for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good one. So I don't think I told you about this. So there's a situation that's been happening for quite a while where indigenous people tribes, their children were getting killed and put in like the 200 bodies of children found at the church. And then I think it's Nevada, but it may be Arizona. So a young lady reached out to me, and she's with Four Corners Canine Search and Rescue. And so if you guys are hearing us here, go check out that Facebook page for the number Corners Canine Search and Rescue. But her nonprofit is out there, and she has, in essence, a cadaver dog, and she goes and helps search for bodies.
Wow.
So currently they are searching for Native Americans their bodies were put in landfills. Like it's kind of if Yellowstone.
When was this?
She reached out just 2 days ago, two or 3 days ago.
So this is something
it's happening.
Jeez.
Yeah. So if you ever watch Yellowstone, where it's in a TV show, it really happens where people go and kidnap and murder tribal women on tribal land and then just throw the bodies away. So that's what one of the things her nonprofit does is if somebody goes missing, they take the dog out there to go try to help find the missing person. And sometimes it's going to be a cadaver versus, somebody that was safe and sound. So she reached out and she was like, hey, I was trying to figure out how to seek funding and how to get better about that. And I was told to talk with you.
Yeah.
So we had a group in Nevada.
Wow. Nevada. Wow.
I mean, so that's it's kind of crazy to me on back to the flyer side of it that, it's weird how our reach locally and afar. I mean, same thing, that request that came in from North Dakota.
Yeah.
Right.
That's I mean, obviously the situation's awful, but it's super cool that people are hearing about us everywhere. And
right.
It's starting to become a thing where people, first responders can turn to us and they know they can turn to us to provide assistance. So.
Yeah. We're still talking about this flag, but yeah. So it's neat and it's terrifying to me as well that people are like, "Hey, we hear that you're the guy." I'm like, I'm not the guy. I don't know. But apparently, I'm starting to become the guy.
Yep.
If we were talking about winning the title next year, my rhinestone Jeep is coming in for the win. Is it a flag Jeep? Because you can't win the most patriotic with rhinestones.
As long as it's not patriotic. We can be friends.
Yeah, we can be friends. If you can go for any other title, but most patriotic Jeep, I'm slashing tires. I mean, that's just kind of. I mean, here I'll even add to your comment. I'm slashing tires. ... There, sass that.
It's out there now.
Man, it really is. And I saw there was some stains on there because of the water restrictions. I didn't wash the Jeep very much, and. I'm going to have to do things. I dislike this. I'm rattle canning the whole Jeep, tires and everything.
There you go.
I don't know. I'm gonna rhinestone a flag on it. Rhinestones fall off. Oops. I have minions, and he's
yeah, right.
So yeah, I mean, so volunteer wise, we've got the flyer in that we're going to do. We're obviously not doing it in the heat, so we're going to wait till it cools down. And when that happens, you're just going to, if they're on the volunteer email, you'll kick out the email and just try to rally.
I'm just going to kick out emails, and I'd like to get something, maybe kind of regular. So like every Monday, in the morning for 2 hours, or maybe if that's not convenient, maybe a weekend day or something for 2 hours in the morning, we go out and pass out flyers and then, call it good at that. But I'm still kind of working out the details on that. But once we do, I'll be sending out those emails to people and we'll figure out what we can do. Let's see.
There we go. So Jack has chimed in. So he's over on YouTube. So if you guys aren't seeing this on YouTube, I'll read it. So the Oklahoma 2A, the Rogers County Oklahoma 2A chapter drafting bills to protect our freedoms and liberty. We are the group that got the constitutional carry for the state of Oklahoma. So, I mean, they're not, I don't know. Whenever you think of political, not activists, but advocates, that's what they're doing. They're not, crazy. They're not being disrespectful. These are guys that are just reading the words of the law, figuring out, hey, this is a problem. Hey, this is not actually, going to pass. They just hold everyone accountable. Also, we're the only state with an anti-red flag law. So red flag laws, it's my understanding that I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, I know I've heard of them. I think it's kind of a label they put on. I thought it was a label they kind of put on particular people for certain reasons, but I couldn't.
Well, that's what I figure. Senate Bill, nation's first anti-red flag law on the books, also known as the Anti-Red Flag Act, prohibits the state or any city, county, or political subdivision enacting. Now I gotta click. Oh, Oklahoma City. There we go. Oh, it's so tiny. That's what she said. Let's see here. Political subdivision from enacting red flag laws. It also prohibits the acceptance of any grants or funding to enact. As other states have expanded infringements on the Second Amendment and the other rights protected in our U.S. Constitution through the red flag laws, I'm thankful we have a governor who is committed to protecting and defending our rights. Whether it's red flag laws have been passed in more than a dozen states across the country and permit police or family members to temporarily remove firearms from at-risk people who may present violent threat to themselves or others. But the issue is not, their issue wasn't that. It's not that somebody's in a mental crisis.
Right.
It was, if I made a post of
Sure.
blank 2020, just so we don't get banned,
right?
I don't care, but
Political in nature, that may not be accepted by a group.
Then somebody, a particular person in the group, could say, because you like that political party, you now are crazy.
Yep.
You now can't have your guns.
Right.
So that's the fine line of some of these laws gets really kind of scary of overreach. It sounds good, except the problem is that problem could be better dealt versus,
right.
It's
not so black and white.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think that the Oklahoma 2A, they've got a lot of really great things. They dove into quite a few laws in there, so that was pretty cool. So the Oklahoma legislator, and Jack, I hope you know about this. And I almost brought it up to the senators and the representatives, but they had to have a pretty lengthy discussion about donkey milking.
Oh.
And now it is legal to sell donkey milk in Oklahoma.
I wonder if it's any good.
I don't know. We definitely need to, like,
if anyone out there knows, what is your opinion on donkey milk? Is it good? Is it bad? Would I put it in my Cheerios?
If somebody sends me,
no, that's all they should send you.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody sends us a bottle of donkey milk, we will try it.
Yes,
and it's got to be like milk, not
See,
something
no.
that was milked. but yeah, so it's amazing the stuff that they spend time on because they had to, and that was because the USDA and the Oklahoma didn't match and all that stuff. But it was a fascinating story to have to sit there and listen to about the amount of time that they spent figuring out, are we really about to pass this? And they did. So now you can legally purchase donkey milk in the state of Oklahoma.
Donkeys getting their rights and liberties, I guess.
Hey, man. What else on the this is what happens when you threaten my flags. So what else on the volunteer side? So the flying's going to be a big one, and we'll wait till it cools down to like not 112. Also your third level of Mario, that post has been going off real well.
Yeah,
like that's
it's hot.
It's hot out there. Take guns without due process or law, no warrant. Yeah, and that's let's see here. What else?
I mean that's it from a volunteer perspective. Kind of went over all that. Did we want to name drop anybody, like in regards to just thanking them for their participation? Or
yeah. So we've definitely had a lot of folks that have dived in the last month. We're changing around some titles. So Bryce is actually, so we didn't say that. No. So I'm shifting Bryce's duties from being the volunteer coordinator to really he's been doing social media posts, helping us with shirts and business decisions, all that stuff. And so Bryce is officially our director of operations, and I'll have that updated on the website. And then Miss Laci, I need to figure out what. So she's helping us. I think she's going to start perusing through grants for us, and then also helping on the newsletter. So something around communications. Then we had a gentleman on Western Oklahoma, Curtice Spencer. He was referred to us through the refuge guys. He and I have talked several times, and lots of grant ideas, and he's got access into our alignable account. So he's going to be starting to help us put grants out there and find additional funding. It's definitely promising that we keep growing our team and keep, finding the right people in the right spots. I think Laci also, the gal that we have that one design that you really liked. Laci happens to know her and is going to see if she can talk her into helping us do like a design a month or not. And then last night we formed a mental health Facebook group for really the folks that I've dealt with that have brought people to the foundation, that just to have that peer support,
right? Or
that they deal with mental health, or they advocate for mental health resources for first responders. So we started that last night,
and it's always been a thing, but now it's like we're going to try to put it maybe a little bit more at the forefront type of thing.
Yeah, I think that it was foolish of me not to realize I need to advocate for funding to help us just the rent. I mean, the reason we have the office is that.
Yep.
And I just never really, I didn't give it credit. I just said, I'll pay the rent and call it a day, versus I think we actually should be out there just seeking funding for that. If it's an unspecified funding, it's going to go towards something that can save a life.
Right.
But we are helping save lives, even in just the facility, in the podcast, and just the advocacy side of it. So yeah, I think that's a big one. We talked about Modern Woodsman, Brent and Leslie. Brent's he wants to start doing podcasting with us.
Okay.
And then Leslie will be present but not on the podcast from my understanding. I even got threatened when I was doing a video at Baxter Springs. So I kept her out of the video in hopes that I can win the most patriotic Jeep again.
Oh,
because she's not on here threatening me, so we can be friends. And
go.
then I'm missing somebody. So Nate joined. We've got Cassie Bowman White. She's been showing up and helping us with quite a few of the events. Ooh, cracking my voice there. Compton came out, but she's one of our board members, one of our founding ones. Who else? I'm missing somebody.
Allison. I think you mentioned Allison. I think that might be it.
Yeah. So Allison,
sorry if we missed you.
But. Yeah. So Allison and Corey, they're part of the mental health response team for Bartlesville PD. So definitely picking their brain on helping us just showcase the importance of having a safe space, a place where first responders can go and talk with the mental health professional, be it on their iPad or be it wherever they're at. It's still just a facility that is safe.
Yeah.
Versus, just on the street, or because the hard part about the patrol car is that they can't have a conversation there because, as it should be fully audio video recorded. Well, then if they're struggling, they don't want that on air.
Right.
I did see a post today that I thought was it was interesting. It was somebody that initially you could read that thinking that this is anti-police, but he was talking about if an officer's camera is turned off, they should be immediately taken off shift until that camera is fixed, or if it was basically just a post talking about the importance of the camera, how it is that third eye that can keep everybody safe. And it was a cool post just talking about, I really like the notion that if their camera breaks on shift, they would then be 10-8 or not 10-8. They would be taken off duty for just in time to go back, get a new camera.
Right.
But it was the concept was reflecting the importance of having that video camera going, that at no point during their engagement, if that goes off, that engagement's over. You need to go back, get it fixed, whatever. Obviously within reason, but it was a cool post. I really liked that one.
Yeah.
If that was you, thank you.
Yeah. I think it'll be super good though, if we can kind of streamline it so that, the people who are helping with it maybe don't get bombarded with messages, but that way it can maybe be filtered through us, maybe anonymously, so that we can, dispatch those needs to the people that can help with it.
Yeah.
And then, get them the help when they need it, where they need it. And, obviously if you have, an urgent need, 988 is the number to call. But this would definitely help with people that might be having more of like a chronic thing, or just feel like they need somebody to talk to about some stuff that maybe they feel like they can't talk to other people about.
And so Jack just chimed in that so it was Senator Ali Seafried, I hope I said that right, and then Representative Tom Gann, and they were chill. It was really cool. If you guys don't know your representatives, go speak with them. Like I talk with Jed Strom pretty often. Anytime I see him, John Kane, Julie Daniels, they're all just easy to speak with. You may not like what they have to say, but they'll listen to you.
Yep.
And it's hard in politics. You can't please everybody. I mean, ever try to buy a T-shirt for a bunch of staff members? It's
right. Well, people are so hardened anymore. I mean, I think it's just a matter of we've got to turn our attitudes more towards listening than just shouting.
Yeah.
We got to be able to listen to each other and have a conversation.
Yep.
Whatever we're talking about, whether we're talking about, something we're trying to put together, an event or something like that, or whether you're talking, politics or something, you got to be able to come together and actually have a conversation. So,
yeah. And that is the idea of peer support, is you're just having a conversation about what's going good. What are you struggling with? Are you safe?
Yep.
And there's several people that periodically will be, just kind of reaching out to each other, and they'll ask, "Hey, are you safe today?" "Yeah, I'm good."
Right.
But I've also learned that
buddy
I've got
check.
Yeah, and buddy. Sorry. So, but I've learned that if like school's starting up, that's a really hard time in my year. So I've told everybody that hey, I'm going to go quiet for a bit.
Yep.
And I'm going to, and it's just because I get absolutely bombarded with everything.
Yep.
So that's, to me, it's the ability to have a genuine communication with folks and tell them, hey, here's where I'm going to be at. Here's, I'm safe, whatever. But that is peer support. It's having a safe place and folks that are trained in the communication and trained to be able to know when is it just a conversation or when is it they need help?
Right.
Because the thing about peer support is you're not providing counseling.
Right.
You are simply there to help them get it off their chest, whatever that's bothering them, and helping them identify, hey, you probably need to go see somebody.
Yep.
Let's go together.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about with the podcast and with just the space. So if you guys happen to see this and you're like, man, I wish I had a space I could talk with, we've got, our peer support folks. We have Chaplain Brian, who is phenomenal. I don't know if have you met Brian?
I don't believe I've met him.
So he's got a beautiful mustache that he is a man's man. But Brian he's one of the chaplains for Bartlesville Police, and then Ike Amaro is also a chaplain for Bartlesville. I think they do Bartlesville Police and the Washington County and just kind of overall. But if you're needing to speak with somebody, but you just don't have a space to do it, you can let us know and we'll help coordinate it, or you can just reach out to Chap directly, and he'll, how it plays out is they just say, hey, John, I need the office at, noon. Right. And then I reach out to my key holders and I say, hey, can somebody go by the office at noon? And really, it's like 11:50. So we unlock it, walk away. That way there's no one here. No one knows who was in here. No one knows, anything. And then they can have a safe conversation. And it's anywhere. Like, I don't care what they're talking about. It just, if they needed the space, they needed a space.
Yep. And that's why I think too, it'd be good if we can get it like a form set up so that if somebody didn't want to disclose their name for whatever, at least to us, then we could have them just be able to submit that form. That way, like you said, we can show up, unlock the doors, get in touch with, one of the people that we know to have a conversation with them, and then let them take care of what they need to take care of. And
okay.
Do it that way. But
I'll figure out how to, because you want to do it anonymously, but not in a dangerous,
or at least optionally anonymous.
Yeah.
So that if you didn't want to disclose who you are, then you have the option to.
Yeah. So for a little bit there, I had all the mental health resources, but the biggest problem was it's I don't want to put something on there that I don't know.
Right.
Locally, we have like the Warriors Rest Foundation. That seems to be, I've heard from several folks about their caliber, and they seem to be pretty solid. I just forgot the name, the horse therapy. It's just on the, do you know the name?
No.
Does anyone here know the horse therapy facility outside of Bartlesville? Walking Ranch? Walker?
Oh, no, we just walked by it too.
Well,
I don't know.
So if you're a facility that has resources, let us know as well. That way we can try to help connect. And that's my goal, is that we're not first responders, and we're just going to help kind of connect the dots. Stormwalker Ranch. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Facebook user. We can't see you probably because you commented on our on the supporter page under the live. But thank you.
There's Horses for Hope up here, and I know they have other locations, just not sure where. Yeah, so there is tons of resources beyond, like on our end, it's just we can provide a space and we can connect you with people if you just need to talk locally. And then that's where the peer support counselors come in, is they help you with the next step.
Yep.
Where, that's the beauty of this, is that we can do this with everyone's help and lots of networks. So also, if you're still here or new, don't forget to text Bleed Kit to 918-856-3977. All those donations is how we fund what we're doing. Yeah. So really appreciate everybody that's been hanging in here with us. Does you have anything else?
No, I can't think of anything else. I was trying to think if we had written anything else down that we wanted to hit, but
I mean, we did talk about like the Project Tribute after hours, and
that'd be cool.
Selling feet pics, and we dove into that yesterday or Saturday in the heat. It got weird.
Times are tough, man.
I'm just trying to figure out all the ways we can fund. I feel like there's a solid market for first responder feet pics. I really do.
Start an app.
I feel like we could do that. The Project Tribute feet. I feel like that's $1 million idea right there. Alrighty. So if you guys have any other questions, comment on this post. And then the big thing that you guys can do to help us, if we made $30 last month through our Facebook engagements, and that's just you going down there, hitting like, hitting share, hitting follow. The Facebook has got a thing going on for another 30 days where if for every 1,000 engagements, we get a penny. So we had 30,000 engagements. So we got $30, which is great. It's free money for us. And then that money is what we use to fund our operational expenses. Yep. And again, no one's being paid out of this.
Nope.
The only expenses we have the foundation itself, like the building, the brick and mortar we have, and that doesn't have any bills. That's all bills paid, no internet, no any of that. Then we have, the cell phone, a couple our PixArt and Canva subscriptions, so a couple $30 a month things. And then the biggest next expense outside of that is going to be the website and the instrumental, which is our grant software. So that's, by you going and hitting it helps us, and our operation costs run roughly about $45,000 a year. And currently that's been funded through me. And I'd like to try to figure out how we can get self-funded to where we can start really doing some great work out there.
Helps us a lot too, not only with the donations, but if you want to check out our website, look at some of the merchandise that we've got, buy up some of that, come out and see us at events and stuff like that, when we're out and about.
We've got the discount code. So right now it's 10% off any order. So
what's that code?
Thank you. All capitals, but I don't think it actually gives you the option and it's one word, but same thing. I don't think it lets you put spaces. I think it's just thank you.
There you go.
And the discount code's also in the newsletter. So we'll be posting kind of discounts and the most up to date through Laci's newsletter. It's coming out once a week.
Great newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to it, you can head on over to our website and throw in your email address. And we don't spam your email or anything like that. Obviously, we're not selling your email to anybody else either, like some corporations do and whatnot. So we just take your email and we send you a nice little newsletter telling you what we're doing and where we're at, what's going on.
But I will sell your feet pics.
Yeah, if we can get them, then don't trust John with your feet. Well,
look, man, $1's $1. I need $50 to buy a bleed kit. I will do that. However, we need to do that.
Yep,
it will be ethically sourced. Is that the coin term?
Yeah, I think you hit it.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's it for the evening. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Hit that follow button, encourage your friends. The text to donate 856-3977, and really appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.